For the soul of this nation is agitated. Where does our energy come from? Have I not told you? The time is coming and now is, where it shall be revealed, but how unusual shall it happen. I saw emblems. I saw 2 crowns. I saw 2 crowns, golden crowns, an investment. I saw 2 big leaves, and they were blended together. And then something unusual happened. I was taken into the atmosphere, and I saw a formation of a planet. Now, I'm not even sure in my own mind what this means, because I don't know. I'm not that bright. But I saw planets being formed. Planets that were not, that will be. And in their formation, a strange light and an energy. They shall say this, there is no such thing as that planet, but it is something that is being formed at this very moment for the purpose of my people. You are that important to me, says the Lord, that I would do something that is not yet and bring from it and fashion that which will make you and your children prosperous. Do you believe that I'm able to do it? Go, come on.
So there it is. In the very beginning of that part of the prophecy, he says, where is the new energy? Have I not told you? And then sees this, has this experience where he's taken into the atmosphere. What's interesting to me is the formation of a planet part. I'm not quite sure what to even think of that. Or I'm not sure if maybe he's observing something that he's not quite sure what he's seeing. So he's just describing it as best he can. But he did have some insight into it. So I'm not sure if that's quite right either, but he did see the 2 crowns. And what's interesting about the 2 crowns is that at the time that he prophesied that, he went to my husband, who's an artist, and asked him to draw the crowns. And he saw a reflection. I remember him asking him, and he said, draw the crown and then show a reflection of that crown in water. And so this is what my husband drew. Now, this is all the way back in 2013. He drew this for my dad. So I think Dad was trying to figure out what he had seen and maybe put it out there, have imagery for it so the code breaking could happen and people could interject. Also, what's interesting is that he sees a strange light and an energy. And the one thing that has been happening with 3i Atlas is the way that they are able to tell, okay, there's nickel but no iron, is by the light and the colors that come off of it. And so he's seeing a strange light and then an energy, and God doing something that is not yet, that will be. Now, one thing that they've been bringing up in these interviews with Avi Loeb, multiple interviews have been done, is the possibility of it breaking apart as it nears our sun. There's a strange kind of mist in the front of it. So instead of the back like a comet, there's a mist in front of it as it gets closer to our sun. And one of the things, I think it was Glenn Beck interviewed Avi Loeb the other day, and he was asking, are we in danger? And, of something hitting us? But that's not really the concern at this point. But it is possible that it could break apart. And so perhaps in observing it, my dad didn't see anything dangerous or anything for us to be afraid of or any kind of catastrophe. So I'm really not worried about that, because I'm sure that if something was going to hit the planet and we were all going to be extinct, he probably would have seen that. So I don't think that's what's going to happen, but there is a possibility that it might break apart or just in their observing of it. But, at this stage, we can't know, but we wanted to put that out there for everybody who watches our network and follows my dad's prophecies and does the code breaking with us, give you guys an opportunity to look at what was prophesied, especially when we observe these interesting things surrounding him seeing this. Like I said before, he kept seeing death to debt. In the prophecy that we just watched, he talks about how this will make us and our children prosperous. And he had been seeing death to debt for so long, and so many years he prophesied death to debt. And, right now that debt, well, it seemed more impossible than it does now. I think Trump's been great. And of course, Dad prophesied that Trump would be the trumpet and what he would do with the economy. So I think that all of these things coming together at the same time, and then Dad seeing the Jesus revolution at the same time, which we're beginning to see that, especially amongst the young people, it's beginning to line up into something very interesting and very unusual. And so we have another prophecy to play, and this is also from 2013, but it's December 31st. So the prophecy we just watched was in March of 2013. Dad sees this, prophesies it, and all the other things he was seeing, has my husband draw the two crowns, because he sees the two crowns and he sees the two big leaves. Many people over the years have looked at that prophecy, and something interesting was its connection to digital currencies and something called a Merkle tree. But this seems to be much more obvious as time goes past. So now that we have this 3-eye atlas, only the third ever interstellar object observed coming into our, it's very, very unusual. So many things are unusual that it's worthy of note. And it's also interesting whether or not there are aliens inside of it. And so we have this prophecy from December 31st of 2013. Let's have a look at that and then we'll come back.